again!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Struck down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right on the show today, Indian cricket fans and experts have erupted. There are major reactions to the Asia Cup men's squad that was announced yesterday. Key performers like Shreyas Iyer's exclusion has sparked fury. We look at what he's done so far. Does it merit an omission? Pakistan, meanwhile, has officially pulled out of the Hockey Asia Cup here in India, citing security concerns. Bangladesh has stepped in as replacement. Pakistan playing petty politics. Where will this get them, and how will it affect the tournament itself? Now, China is known to try and get ahead of the curve, whether it's politics or even sports. Competition is key, but more than that, it's about winning. After getting athletes to do their bidding, it's now the turn of humanoids to stand up and deliver. Is this China's new obsession, and are they trying to tamper with an already existing fabric? But first, a look at the headlines on Sports 360. We'll start with cricket. South Africa beat Australia by 98 runs in the first ODI of the three-match series. Put into bat first, Aiden Markram's 82 and captain Themba Bavuma's gritty 65 pushed Proteas to 296. Keshav Maharaj in response troubled the Aussies. Maharaj took 5 as Australia were bundled out for just 198. The two will compete in the second one-day international on the 22nd of August. In women's cricket, India announced their squad for the 2025 World Cup set to take place at home. Seasoned campaigner Harmanpreet Kaur will lead the side and Smriti Mandana will be her deputy. Swashbuckling opener Shafali Verma failed to find a spot. Pratika Rawal and Harleen Deol have been rewarded for their performances against England recently. Renuka Singh will lead the pace attack. India begin their campaign against Sri Lanka on the 30th of September. On to football, Xabi Alonso got to winning ways in his debut La Liga match with Real Madrid, registering a 1-0 challenging win over Osasuna. Star forward Kylian Mbappe showed his brilliance. The match was goalless in the first half. Mbappe earned a penalty in the 51st minute and converted from the spot. Mohamed Salah has been crowned the best player in England football once again. The Liverpool forward became the first to win this for a record third time. Kevin De Bruyne, Cristiano Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, Thierry Henry have all won it twice. Salah was earlier named the player of the season and given the golden boot for scoring 29 goals and assisting 18 times last season. And summing it up with chess, former world champions Vishwanathan Anand and Garry Kasparov will compete in a 12-game exhibition match in October. The event, which is part of the iconic St. Louis Chess Club's reopening, will take place in America's Missouri. In addition, it will also feature players like Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, Fabiano Caruana and Gukesh Domuraju on the sidelines. Now, it's difficult being Indian cricketer Shreyas Iyer today. But wait, why does this phrase seem all too familiar? Because that's exactly what many thought back in February 2024 when Shreyas Iyer was unceremoniously dumped from the central contracts by the BCCI. And cut to more than a year later, it feels like yet another sucker punch. The Asia Cup squad was announced yesterday and it has elicited strong reactions from you fans and of course experts alike. The one leading the list is that to the unfortunate omission of Shreyas Iyer. What did he do wrong? How could he not find a place in this squad for the Asia Cup? Now, being an Indian cricketer is tough business. There's so much scrutiny which is constant. The pressure is immense. Criticism is quick to come and praise takes time. You can go from being a superstar to a person on the run desperate to hide within moments. Shreyas Iyer will be asking himself, what more did I need to do here? Let me show you what he actually did after BCCI struck him off the contracts. He did not rebel. He did not wither away or let anything else do the talking. He performed. He punched and hard. He won the Ranji Trophy a month after his omission from the contracts. Led the Kolkata Knight Riders to a monumental, much anticipated victory in the Indian Premier League just months later, and of course played the Irani Trophy too. He took Mumbai to victory, and that was in October 2024. He took Mumbai to victory at the Saeed Mushtaq Ali tournament too, India's premier state-wise T20 tournament. He was in fact the second highest run scorer for Mumbai. The fourth in that list was part of the Champions League winning squad right after that. This was in early 2025, and he was key in India's middle order there, a key contributor. And he was not done. He switched franchises at the IPL. That was just some months back, taking Punjab Kings to a historic IPL final, just falling short. He was one of the top run getters in that tournament, number 6 on the list. That's exactly what he ended up doing for an entire year after he was given the biggest blow in his career. So what more did they want of him? They said he was not diligent enough, that he had an attitude problem. He had to play more domestic tournaments and prove himself. He did. That got him back into the contracts and into the national side. They said he was suspect to the short stuff, the short deliveries. He worked on it, and he managed to negate that. They said he needed to step in whenever they needed him. He did that. He has been their most reliable middle order batter. When asked about his omission, this is what the chief of selectors said.
With regards to Shreyas, I mean, you'll have to tell me who we can replace here. Again, no fault of his. Nor is it ours. It's just that you can pick 15, and at the moment he'll have to wait for his chance.
No fault of his, that's correct. No fault of theirs either. But where does that leave Shreyas Iyer? Doubting himself some more, and certainly not in the place he wants to be all over again. Experts are just as stumped. Indian cricket has some plans. Shubman Gill is all set to be their all-format captain. This is the grooming phase for him. So, if they could do everything possible to fit Gill into that squad, why is that intensity not being shown for other roles or positions, for other players? The future captain, yes, is important, but he or she is ultimately as good as the team. Fans in India have responded to the squad, and they are disgruntled. Well, yes, it's impossible to fit all. I get it. There are many talented cricketers here in the country, and a lot of them are already packed into that squad. The middle order itself is a solid 10 on 10. But what's the message India's think tank have given the ones who missed the bus and deserve to be on it? The Jaiswals, the Ayers, and Washington Sundars. It's a tough job being an Indian cricket selector, no doubt, but it has to be. How else will the best get to represent the country on the global stage? Hard work has to pay off. That's what Shreyas Iyer would have told himself, and told himself repeatedly. Not in a few weeks, not in some months probably, but in a year surely. And when that doesn't seem to be the natural progression, it can crush you. Pakistan has pulled out of the upcoming Hockey Asia Cup scheduled for next month. Their reasoning, they claim it would be unsafe for their players to travel to India after Operation Sindoor. But here's the fact, the Indian government had already given a green signal for visas to Pakistan's squad. India was ready to rise above the tensions and allow sports to continue. Still, Pakistan have come out and said a vehement no. And while Bangladesh will now replace them, the bigger question is Pakistan genuinely concerned about safety, or are they simply trying to play truant? And more importantly, will this petty pullout hamper the tournament? Now, let's be clear about one thing. Irrespective of the sport, India has always been among the safest places in the world to host an international event at. Not once, not a single time has an international side ever been attacked on Indian soil. But across the border, it's a different story. In Pakistan, attacks near stadiums are not new. In 2009, Sri Lanka's cricket team had to be airlifted after a deadly terror strike near the stadium in Lahore. So yes, when countries cite security concerns while touring Pakistan, it makes absolute sense. But when Pakistan raises the same concerns about India, that's not just strange, it's laughable. Let's not forget India, despite political tensions, despite restrictions on visas for Pakistani nationals, assured our neighbor that visas would be granted because India wanted sports to continue. But what did Pakistan do in return? They turned that goodwill into pettiness. But what's worse is that their stance is also selective. When it's cricket, Pakistan always lectures India to keep politics away from sports. They pushed for India to play the Champions Trophy matches in Pakistan. They insist on India versus Pakistan matches because of the massive revenue those games generate. They benefit. But when it's hockey, a sport where money isn't on the line, suddenly the same Pakistan refuses to travel. Suddenly, security concerns become a huge concern. It's this double standards, this hypocrisy that exposes Pakistan's real intentions. But here's the irony. Hockey in Pakistan is already in crisis. Governance is weak, players don't get their salaries on time, the fan base is dwindling, and many players are migrating to Europe just to keep their careers alive. Some of them even sought refuge just to be able to survive, have a better life. So when a country's sporting structure itself is in shambles, should they be engaging in such acts like pulling out of the Asia Cup, which, by the way, is also a qualifier for the FIH World Cup, so it's critical. Pakistan isn't just hurting the tournament, they're in fact hurting themselves. Their absence now means Bangladesh, a team that didn't even qualify for this tournament, now takes their place. Now, Bangladesh are ranked 29th in the world. Their biggest achievement has been winning the AHF Cup 4 times, a tournament that serves as a qualifying event for the Asia Cup. And this year, they didn't even win that either. So it's a major step up for Bangladesh. Sure, a number 29 replacing a number 15 isn't how this should have transpired, though. Now, it benefits India because they avoid a traditionally strong rival in the mix, but in the long run, Pakistan only damages its own credibility. Now, that's the bigger picture. Just like cricket, Pakistan needs India, not the other way around. Their selective outrage, their selective morality in sport all puts Pakistan under a bad light. If they really want to revive hockey as a sport in their country, if they really want to grow as a sporting nation, they should stop playing petty politics, stop playing the victim card and start playing the game instead. Because champions are made by participating, not by pulling out of tournaments. And just like politics, they are the ones losing here, not India. China and the United States, two nations that never stop competing. Trade, technology, manufacturing, military might, and now even artificial intelligence. Every new field becomes yet another battlefield. Now, while America may dominate the AI software race, China has found a new edge, one that merges technology with sports. Beijing is just hosting something the world has never seen before, the first ever humanoid robot games. Forget humans running, punching, kicking, or dribbling. It's now robots fighting for gold medals. From five-a-side football to kung fu duels, from the marathon to the 100-meter hurdles events. Machines are now stepping into arenas once reserved only for humans. And make no mistake, just like the traditional Olympics, China is going all in here too. For decades, tech and sports were treated as separate industries. Sports used tech for analytics, training, data, or even injury prevention. But with the explosion of artificial intelligence, that wall seems to have collapsed. Now, it's not just tech supporting sports, it's tech replacing sports persons. And China is doing this with every event. Remember, this isn't their first stunt. China organized a humans versus robots half marathon to test AI stamina just a while back. But they didn't stop there. They went a step further, organized what can only be called a robot Olympics. Right, it kicked off with football matches, robots awkwardly chasing the ball, some scoring, others collapsing. Then came athletics, hurdles, sprints, and even long-distance running, and of course, basketball, with humanoids attempting slam dunks. But the highlight, the 1,500-meter humanoid race. Crowds watched as robots stomped along the track, wobbling, falling, but some actually finishing with surprising speed. Now, it wasn't just a local Chinese showcase. Over 280 robotics teams from 16 different countries joined the competition. Yes, many robots still tripped and tumbled, a hilarious sight for spectators gathered. Tech experts believe the future is not far when robots won't just run, they will dominate. One robotics leader even boldly declared this.
The most impressive event was definitely the 100-meter sprint competition. I believe robots will likely surpass Usain Bolt's records in the near future.
Now, the fastest humanoid finished 1,500 meters race in over 6 minutes. In the human world, the record is set at 3 minutes 26 seconds by Morocco's Hicham El Jourog. Clearly, robots still have a long way to go, but history tells us China tries to close the gap, and quickly. They're not here to just participate, they want to win. Because this obsession with winning is not new for China. From gymnastics to table tennis to diving, China's athletes are trained from the time they're kids. The message is simple: aim for gold and nothing less, because nothing else counts. Now, that same philosophy is being applied to machines here. Think about it. The Olympics of the future may not just be about humans anymore. We may witness robot sprinters, wrestlers, boxers fighting for medals while humans become mere spectators. But here's what China is forgetting. Sport is not about winning, it's about triumphing. There's a difference. Victories in sport matter just as much as losses do, because it's about humans fighting all odds and trying to overcome every challenge to cross the line, beat the clock. China is getting so mechanical in this approach here too that they're forgetting the true spirit of sport. It is emotions, pain, agony, and of course, sweet victory. Not everything can be dealt with a cold heart. Machines are great, they are clinical, they are accurate, they are fast. But they can never replace the true grit that humans bring to any venture, particularly sports. And China, in its quest to break all barriers and boundaries, seem to be toying with that basic principle. Time for last serve. Al Nassr has reached the Saudi Super Cup final, but more than the club's win, it was Ronaldo's presence that fans went crazy for. After the Lionel Messi row last year, Hong Kong experienced Ronaldo's brilliance, and fans couldn't get enough of it.
difficulties and challenges, I think of him and never give up and keep trying. So I think I'm living an okay life now, and it's like part of because of him. And it's very exciting for me to be here and see him by my eyes. through my eyes. Today I'm just so happy, you know, because I have loved Cristiano so many years, and now my dream is come true. I'm just very glad to be here and watch Cristiano's game. Cristiano Ronaldo! Cristiano Ronaldo! 3, 2, 1, go!
That wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll of course see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.